Hello everybody and welcome to my presentation. I'm Valérie Zermatten, a PhD student in EPFL in Earth observation, and today I'm going to talk about how I use Wikipedia and remote sensing data to learn about the ecological properties of a place. So let's get started. So during my PhD, I've been mostly working with vision language model for remote sensing data. So as a quick catch-up, remote sensing data are basically any type of imagery taken from above, for example, from satellite, planes, or drones. And so the goal of this model is to enable interaction with remote sensing images with language, so to have an interaction with, for example, questions that are able to highlight the proper area in the image. However, as you can imagine, it's a pretty recent field of research. And so far, those models have been mostly focused on urban land cover and human-related concepts, and mostly because that's where we have more data, and they do not know much about nature and vegetation concepts. So we want to introduce such type of knowledge into remote sensing vision language model. So our idea is to learn information about the natural environment from the nature itself, so from the species that are observed in some location, because the presence of a species in given geographic location reveals a lot of information about it, such as land cover, climatic conditions, soil properties, etc. Moreover, we have species observation available globally and for free through crowdsourcing platforms such as eBird, PlantNet, iNaturalist, or GBIF, where basically citizens and scientists go out there and collect and share the species they observe during their trip. To gather information about the preference of the species, we want to use text, such as Wikipedia, to describe the species preference. So the initial task of the project was to build this ecowiki-RS datasets. So basically for each area in Switzerland, we extracted aerial images from the Federal Office of Topography, Swiss Topo, with high spatial resolution, RHGP bands. We connect them with species observation from GBIF. For each species, we extracted a Wikipedia article if it is available, and then we cut the Wikipedia article into sentences. And as you can imagine, in Wikipedia, you have a lot of sentences that are not interesting for our task, so that are not related to the land cover and the habitat, those that I highlighted with red crosses, but we still have also a lot of sentences that are good, so with the green ticks. So this is still quite a complex data set, where some sentences are of a good description of the image content and some don't. Overall, about the dataset statistic, we collected over 90,000 area images with 100,000 different sentences from about 2,700 species. The dataset is also openly available on Zenodo if you want to have a look at it. So now we want to learn from this ecowiki-RS dataset. So we want to learn for each image which sentence or which text is a good description of it. And how do we do that? We do that with architecture with two encoders. So first we transform each sentence into a vector with a text encoder, so a language model, and then we transform the image into a vector with a visual encoder. And then we developed a method called WinCell to force a good text that is similar to the image to have a really similar vector representation. And we propose this approach called WinCell. I will not go into the technical detail, but it gives more weight to good sentences and less weight to bad sentences by benefiting from pre-trained model knowledge. Through our training, our model is able to learn a good interaction between a real image and any text that we can come up with. So for this task, we plot the text and image similarity over all of Switzerland with one image per square kilometer. And we give as input a sentence that is highlighted here in the red boxes. As you can see, our model highlight in green areas that are highly similar with the text given as input, and in red area that you think is very different. So for those two examples, we can see that the model is able to highlight the proper area for warm and dry climate, alpine climatic zone, and it's coherent with the mean annual temperature for Switzerland. We have more visual results. We can also interact with concepts related to forest, where our model properly highlight area where forests exist in Switzerland, or also with lakes, pond, river, and estuaries. We also see that it correctly reaches, for example, alpine area in red here that are very different from text point that we give. So through this project, we propose to learn ecological property of places from the description of species in Wikipedia. We propose this dataset, EcoWikiRS, to learn a representation of aerial images and connect them with text. Our approach enabled open vocabulary interaction with language to map nature-related concepts at country scale. If you have more questions, don't hesitate to contact me at the email address below. Thank you for listening.